Good evening, everyone. Today we'll continue our previous topic, control. So, the next topic of or the subsystems of control was system maintenance control. So, as we have already discussed first 2 points of the topic control, so third point we will discuss today, that is system maintenance control. So what is system maintenance control? Maintenance means all of us know that maintaining something, like any kind of machinery. If we purchase, suppose that machine always is associated with maintenance means, suppose we are using a product called your washing machine at home, right? So that washing machine needs maintenance periodically. It should be maintained. Suppose after 1 year of use, if some problem occurs, if technical issue arises, in that case it has to be repaired or rectified, the errors, right? And in that case, who will rectify, who will repair it? Definitely we will always approach to authorized person who will maintain, who will repair our product, right? Or that washing machine. Similarly, in case of our information systems also, as you can see here, maintenance authorization control means any kind of software when it needs maintenance, means during its use when some problem occurs, that needs to be rectified, or that needs to be any kind of errors that arises during its use, that needs to be corrected. And who will correct it? Definitely some authorized person should be rectifying the error. That is called maintenance authorization control. Next is source program library control. So as we all know that software, when we talk in terms of software, always we have a program file. All of us know in C drive also we have a program files where all softwares are getting installed, all files are available there. Now just imagine if any random person comes and accesses that program files of your computer systems and do some kind of modification, definitely we can expect that that system will start malfunctioning, right? So that should be maintained. So what needs to be done? Any random person should not be given access or authority to access that program files. That is what it is going. Source program library controls means, source program library controls means it's a place or storehouse where all the library functions, all programs of that software is stored, and any random person should not be able to access that. There is a risk that if anyone is given the access, he may misuse the information. That is why always authorized person, other persons can access any program stored in the library, means unauthorized persons should not be allowed to give access to that particular program files. Only authorized person can access those things in case of any maintenance works. And to keep a track of those accesses, we have a software. The organizations maintain a software that is called source program library management, SPLM in short. It is called SPLM. This is software which keeps a track of those accesses, whoever has gone in that particular folder, source folder, and done some modification, every record will be kept. So this is the use of this software. Fine. Next topic is data management control, means managing our data. So there are two aspects in data management control. One is data access control, another is data backup control. Data access control, all of us know. Access control means accessing something, means you are using some data of your systems, of your database, right? So definitely data accessing should be controlled. How it will control? We can control, definitely some sort of authorization table should be maintained. We must have some authorization table, who can access. Like in our computers also we give certain accounts, right? Like admin account, guest user account, student account. In our college itself it is having student account, administrative account. So students account may have some limitation, whereas admin account may have full authority. So there may be some options may be given, and that is called data access control. Means all will not get the same authority. Based on the type of the user, they can get different privileges to access the data. Data backup control is nothing but, all of us know, backup means keeping a copy of the original copy somewhere else. In original copy we should keep somewhere in a safe place, so that in case of system failure we can recover the data. So definitely data backup control will involve regular backups. Regularly we have to keep our important files safely in some other places, so that in case of any losses we can recover the data. Fine. And transaction logs also needs to be maintained, like who is accessing what kind of data. That sort of things also needs to be maintained under this particular point. Next is organization structure control. So it is given some points are written, but I will try to explain this point with the help of a diagram. You can see one company is there. In that company there are certain departments. You can see one is software developers room, next is operations cell, maintenance team, administrative department. So these are four departments of the organization. You can see software developer. Software developer means one team of people will be there who will be developing the software. Coding part they will be doing. Operation will be directly contacting with the customers. Maybe your customer service cell, those who are in the counters, they see it. So this will be under this particular department. Administrative department, who will be monitoring all different other departments. This is administrative department. Maintenance team, as I have already told you, who will be rectifying errors, means service team. Okay, so these are all departments. Now see what is the organization structure control is all about. Means what they try to say, all departments should not haphazardly mixed together. If you mixed this department with this department, definitely some chaos will create. So what needs to be done, developer team should be independently working. This department also needs to be work independently, this also, and there should be a cooperation between among these different departments. Whenever they need some information, they should cooperate, but the thing is that they should not interfere each other's work. That is how in the organization structure needs to be controlled. Okay, next is computer center control. Computer center control means overall the organizations we need to have certain controlling measures. So some two categories it can be divided. You can see computer center operations control. What is that? Under that, physical security of records and files. Definitely some sort of physical keys, physical locks should be provided. Doors should be properly locked. Security guards should be given, and so that records and files can be kept safe. Next is computer hazard control. Definitely natural calamities happens, right? So in order to protect your systems, protect your information safe from these damages, some measures needs to be taken, like protection from fire damages. Fire damage might happen, so organization needs to keep fire extinguishers and all. Water damage also might be there. Sometimes flood may takes place, sometimes rain might affect your system, so it should be kept at a higher place, like from the floor. Okay, like power variation and failures, definitely this may be handled by using online UPSs, generators and all. Pollution damage we can use like AC rooms if you can provide. And unauthorized intrusion, definitely by giving user ID and passwords you can protect your systems, right? Next is computer network control. Computer network controls means already you people have studied computer networks in your third semester computer subject, right? Computer networks, already we have seen different types of devices are used, like hub, bridges, switches, isn't it, routers. These terms you have heard, right? So now these kind of things needs to be handled properly, like component failure. Component failure means in case, suppose in your network there are hundreds of computers are there, suppose one switch does not work. So in that case, that malfunctioning switch should be removed safely and kept aside, which should not affect the remaining network, right? So that can be done in case of a computer failure. Next is security threats. There may be security threats. As we all know, viruses or different kinds of fraudulent attempts are happening in the network, right? So to avoid those things, we may apply firewalls. All of you know about firewalls, right? Already people have studied. Firewalls is nothing but a bridge to, yeah, it's a not bridge, what to say, it's a wall, it's a wall which will protect your systems from outside intruders. Okay, next is encryption. All of you know encryption is nothing but hiding your data. Like people have already experienced, when you type give your user ID and password in Gmail or any kind of mail, when you put the button login, then you people have seen your user ID and passwords elongates, means it is sent through the network in a hidden form. It is not the actual data that goes over the network. It goes in the form of some unidentified or hidden format over the network, so that in any case if hackers accesses your password also, they will not be able to identify, right? Next is message transaction logs. It is nothing but all incoming outgoing messages, including attempted, like success fail attempts, are recorded in message transaction log. Like if you are trying to access, if any fraudulent attempts are being done in any kind of systems, in that case, if wrong message, wrong user ID and passwords if somebody gives, that will be recorded in that particular systems, and it will be like in the later stage it might be assessed, like what kind of who attempted that particular access. This sort of things will be done. Next is callback device. Is nothing but like it will be a operator. Probably suppose if you are working inside an organization, when you try to connect someone outside your organization, in that case directly you cannot connect to the outsider person. So what has to be done? First you have to connect to your local operator which resides inside the organization. Then the operator will ask you for valid user ID and password. When you are giving valid user ID and passwords, and to whom you are trying to connect, if that person is a genuine or safe device that you are trying to connect, so then that operator inside the organization will give you access for connecting to the outsider organization. So these kind of devices are called as callback devices. Next is personal computer control. This is also another type of controlling measures that we need to keep in the organization, that is weak access control. Disk lock is applied. Probably people have already experienced in the hard disk level also we can give certain passwords. That is also one type of measure to control our systems. Multi-level passwords, already people know about normal login, OTP, etc. So multi-level, not only one level of security, like giving login ID, password, that is one level. Next level will be OTP will be coming right from in your mobile phone, that is also one level of passwords. Another might be your hint questions or security questions might be asked, that is another level. So there might be various levels of protection might be given for accessing your systems. Authorization table will be maintained for different privileged users, for different privileges to different users. Means there are, as I've already told you, different users will have different privileges. Like administrator will have full authority, your guest user will have some limitations in their accesses, right? So this kind of authorization table will be maintained by mentioning who will do what kind of work. Next is PC must be centrally coordinated. PC must be centrally coordinated means nothing but, suppose I am working in an organization and my computer is connected in the network of that particular company. So my computer will be monitored by one supervisor from a server room or any kind of secured place, so that I should not misuse the resources of the organization. That is called pieces must be centrally coordinated. Next is proper backup control. Proper backup control is nothing but, as I've already told you, we should have always a backup plan. Definitely if something goes wrong, it should be recovered from our backups. Any always data of the organization should be kept safely time to time on a regular basis. In case of any losses, it should be able to recover from those backups. So this was all about from today's presentation, today's topic. I will continue the next part in my next video. Thank you very much.